Shout out Mike Scotto of HoopsHype for this information. He did a great job evaluating the trade market of the Toronto Raptors. And as you guys know, Toronto Raptors are a team that everybody's watching. I've reported that it's unlikely any moves are to be made. And the only person that's available for trade who I don't think should be traded is Gary Trent Jr. because he has a player option and it's likely that he declines the player option and goes into unrestricted free agency. And I've said this before. I think Gary Trent, former 5-star recruit, 23 years old, that's somebody you want to keep. Fred VanVleet, they've mutually decided not to discuss an extension till later in the season or in the offseason. And that was a mutual decision right there. As of right now, there has been a lot of rumblings around the Toronto Raptors, not coming from the Raptors themselves, but from other sources around the league that hope the Raptors sell off because the Raptors have assets that contending and many teams would like if they were to head into a rebuild. I doubt it because Nick Nurse is a good coach, and this is a team that is actually good. The only thing holding back the Toronto Raptors, is the fact that their bench did not come to fruition. This was a team that, when they were championship contenders, was because of their bench. Their bench mob, the 905 mob, that's gone. Okay, you're left with Malachi Flynn. Otto Porter's not playing. Thad Young's a little too old. Kem Birch you're not going to get anything from him. Bo Cruz, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, there's a lot to be left desired there. The bench, that's the problem. The starting lineup, yes, there's some floor spacing there, but you can't do much about it when nobody from the bench is able to score or shoot for you besides Malachi Flynn. And let's talk about what Mike Scotto reported. And some of this is also from Marc Stein of the Stein line. According to Marc Stein, the Raptors aren't motivated to trade their top players unless they get strong offers. I've said this before. Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby, if you were to trade for Pascal or OG Anunoby, they want Donovan Mitchell or a Rudy Gobert trade for each of those players. Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert-esque type trade packages for either Pascal or OG Anunoby as players that would be incredibly tough to pry away from them. The insane trade market for star players last season has only risen the bar for the type of returns that the Raptors would demand for these players. It wouldn't be unreasonable for them to demand a haul of unprotected first-round picks similar to the price tags of Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell for Siakam. There are a handful of teams with surplus of first-round picks in position to make that type of deal. Mike Scotto writes that OG Anunoby won't go for that type of haul, even though I think he should. But Scotto writes he should have a strong market of at least 2 first-round picks as a starting point, feeling like a fair price. He could be plugged into any team and instantly raise their ceiling. That's the difference. That's why I think OG Anunoby's values the same as for Siakam. I think Siakam's a little bit harder to fit into any team. OG Anunoby can fit into any team. Marc Stein added that the Raptors are open to parting ways with Gary Trent Jr., which other executives previously suggested to HoopsHype Michael Scotto at the G League Showcase in Las Vegas. As explained in the story several weeks ago, Gary Trent Jr. seems like their most likely trade candidate because he has a player option that he expects to decline this offseason. Instead of giving him a raise, the Raptors could trade him for draft compensation to clean up the books so they have more flexibility to give Fred VanVleet a raise this offseason, along with Siakam and Anunoby next offseason. Many teams in the league can trade for Trent Jr. as a rental. The question is whether teams are willing to give up a premium for him and potentially pay him $20 million plus annually on his next deal. Teams projected to be over the cap this summer who could use backcourt help are the Suns, Mavericks, Wizards, all fit those criteria. I think the Mavs and the Suns would very much benefit from bringing in a Gary Trent. I just think it'd be a little bit difficult for them to acquire him. I mean, Jay Crowder and Darius Saric gets you there, but I doubt that's what the Raptors want for him. And it just all brings in a rather interesting story because I don't know what to do here anymore because the Toronto Raptors are a team that I think if they do make a trade, it'll be day of the trade deadline, to be honest. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys do have a great day because I know I will. Till next time, guys.